Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the first ever episode of Dead End Weekend. This week, I have guest star Lolzosaurus. If you don't know them, check them out in the description below. They're a two-man channel, Bro and Bro. I think they're Danish. So, this week, we're going to be talking about zombie games. So, you can hear them talking in the background while I'm doing this. So,
without knowing it.
They're being distracted right now. Probably take myself on mute now. Okay, so moving on to Unturned. Howdy.
Wait, so did you just start talking now? Or,
yep.
Yeah.
So, Unturned. You've both played it. Everyone's played it. It's all over the internet. You know?
Well, yeah. I guess
it's a game.
It's free, so...
They wrote my mojo. Yeah, it is a free-to-play game, unlike most other games. It's actually free, there's no pay-to-win. I like that, because people don't have money like me.
And I guess it's also a game that was finished, because 7 Days to Die is still being made to some extent?
Unturned isn't fully finished. The 2.0 version is, but since Nelson did go into the 3.0, he did just come out with a 3.11.9.1 yesterday. That just adds in some bug fixes and stuff for people creating maps. But it is just not a finished product yet.
This is the right time to be doing this, so you have the Unturned being updated yesterday, and then, well, the next show you're gonna do, you have Minecraft that's gonna be updated as well.
I know, it's perfect timing. Perfect being updated.
So that's, yeah. Anything you wanted to ask about Unturned? Oh yeah, it's still early access, yeah?
It is very early access. There are lots of bugs, but I think it's a fairly complete game for being early.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Trust me, most early access games I've played are just shit and broken and don't work. Like H1Z1, that game doesn't work.
Yeah, I've heard people talking about that, and they said, "Whoa, it's gonna be cool," and then that just suddenly stopped. Nobody was talking about it anymore because it didn't work, and what is there to talk about when a game doesn't work?
I don't know.
So now, Unturned, we can talk about that because that's a game that works.
It's a game that actually works in early access, and anyone can go and play it.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna help explain what Unturned actually is. I guess the most common definition for it would be DayZ and Minecraft and Fox all gangbanged into one thing. That's the most common explanation of it.
Well, I guess it's not some kind of ugly-ass hybrid thing. That's like a genetic mutation of those 3 games, but I guess it's more...
It has concepts of the games.
Yeah. But it still looks good and it plays good.
Yeah, it runs real smooth, especially coming from the guy who's played, I think, 300 some odd hours on it since day one.
Well, then you have the experience to be talking about.
I have the experience to talk about this.
Oh, I've played it for 73 minutes in total.
Well, that's not much. I don't know how...
Alright, well, you're out of the interview then. You don't get to talk about Unturned. You're just listening to this sense right now. Bye.
Wait, why don't... Well, go get your other guest then.
And get back to me. Missing out.
No, so... well, this is the game where you are literally wearing nothing, eh? That's how it starts.
You're starting naked with... I think he updated it so you start with nothing now. Or you'd start with a candy bar, a juice box, and a flashlight.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Jack shit.
Well, it was fairly easy to find those... Well, not those things, I guess. The food and the drinks are harder to find, and the flashlight is something that you find fairly easy,
very useless if you haven't played the game. The flashlight's useless. It'd be like walking down a dark hallway with your cell phone.
Well, yeah, that's always the thing I threw away because I never found the use to that. Well, even when we were playing it, like for the video, we threw it away because we didn't have a backpack. But at the beginning, and we were collecting a lot of stuff, but didn't find a backpack. But those backpacks, that's also a cool addition to the game because you have the really small ones to the really big ones, and that's something you could find in reality. So
It has that realism aspect.
Yeah. Even though the game looks like a block, well, like a really blocky world, like in Minecraft, there's some realism to the game, and that's awesome. The cars well, the cars can run out of gas and stuff.
Yeah, they actually have gas, unlike DayZ and everything.
Yeah.
I think the only game that I found that was similar to it with having gas would be Apox Z on the Xbox.
Yeah. But I guess there was also a slight problem with the cars, I guess, because they kind of explode really easily. So
some of the vehicles do. He updated it so some of the vehicles have more armor. Your typical Land Rover isn't going to get far compared to your APC.
But I guess like if you were to run over 5 people in real life, I don't think that would stop your car. Well, unless, well, I don't know, maybe modern cars because they dent easier. If you would have like an old Chevy or something, you could just run over hordes of zombies all at once.
Yeah. And speaking of zombies, to move on to that, how they kind of work, because every game they're going to be different with their characters, but this being zombies, you can't talk zombie games without going into the zombie.
Yeah.
So I have an image up right now of a couple of these zombies. They're fairly square. Just that's where your Minecraft bit comes. Everything's kind of block based.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Metal, can you
care to explain a couple of the different zombies?
Well, you've put up a window in front of it now, Metal. Can you put that down there so we can see what he actually put up?
I don't see anything.
Well, nothing has been put up, so can't see an image.
It's because it isn't live anymore. Everyone else can see it.
Oh, really? So, yeah.
Well, you guys said you played the game, so you should know that they're the Block C derp things that kill ya.
Yeah, there are different kind of zombies. The ones that crawl, I guess, and the ones that are walking are the most
10 out of 10 best frequent description of. You have walkie ones, you have crawly ones. There are ones that bite you.
Well, don't they all bite you? What the hell? Like no.
I think it happens on Earth somewhere. And your people.
Well, I was getting to a more detailed description of the zombies, but well, the thing is that when you walk into these houses and stuff, those crawling zombies can be really annoying because when it's dark, you don't see them going in there, and they have been fairly annoying while we were recording as well. We didn't notice that they were there. And the other zombies, well, the annoying part about them is, well, also the crawling zombies do that as well, that they line up behind you in this weird line. Or has that been since changed?
It will still happen if you get enough into a big, close Congo line.
Yeah, it really looks like...
zombies won't push them around.
Oh, yeah. So that's been changed?
Yeah, so you can't have some pink shirt.
Okay.
Updated. Crawling zombie. Average cost. Hike.
Well, we're hearing you.
Oh, but like,
that's weird. Well, another annoying thing about zombies is you have this. Well, it's been a while. Aren't there armored zombies as well?
There are armored.
Yeah. Oh, damn.
Not registering me unless like no.
Well, yeah, if you... What? Wait, what?
I've never seen this type of zombie before.
we're looking at the game now because you said there were updates, so we have opened it as well to look at it some more, what has changed and stuff, and we have now we have encountered some gorilla-like zombie. It was walking like a gorilla or a monkey. Yeah, and they're
Gallop
not.
at you like.
Yeah, that's the thing. But well, they're harder to spot as well because you look at them and you think they're normal zombies. It's when they start moving that they appear to be something else.
No, they were.
So are you fixing your mic problems or were there actually no problems? Let's hope so. Yeah, assumptions can be dangerous though, so.
Fairly loud.
Yeah. Really? Damn. What? Hmm. Well, yeah, grenades ought to help always, I guess. Help to stop everything. That's a strong zombie. So about the other zombies. So you said there was the mega zombie, you had the crawling ones, the normal ones, and those running like a monkey slash horse sprinters. Damn, that would be horrible. Like you said, mega zombies were. You need 3 grenades for a for for a mega zombie. What the hell would a King Kong zombie need? Guess no one can. Oh, cool. Well, the thing is, we were really hoping on escaping a horde of zombies when we were recording, and those were, I guess, all normal zombies and some crawling zombies. So then we found an airport, and there were planes there. Yeah, but I did not know back then that those planes did not work. So we were like trying to get in them, but they did nothing. Well, I hope they get those working at one point. That would be very cool. Like limited gas for airplanes, trying not to crash them. So it might be at one point when they even yeah. But it would be a cool dynamic with the gas though. Like you start flying and you're about flying 1 minute and oops, your gas is gone because yeah, there was no close to no gas in the plane. You forgot to check it. Now you're crashing. That would be cool. Because when you look at those older kind of zombie games before, well, they added in all the realism, it was more the threat of the zombies that would get, well, that would kill you. But with these new games, there are also other threats that come to mind when you're walking around in some deserted wasteland. And yeah, I hope that's a trend that keeps on continuing. Because that's actually the coolest thing. That's also when you look at series like A Walking Dead, that's something they focus on as well. Dynamics between persons. And that should really be something that's important in these apocalypse style zombie games where you try to survive. But when I look at some of these games, like, well, even 7 Days to Die, something that I think is lacking to some extent, and it would be cool if you had some kind of character creation thing, like the brief the brief moments that you can have with that character because it will probably die. That would be so cool. You make your own character, you invest in it, you get to some point emotionally invested in that character, and then like 2 minutes later, it's dead and it ain't coming back. That would be so awesome to put in a game.
That is. That part is. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad no one died in State of Decay on my saving. Really? Oh, damn. Well, no one died, so that's the thing. Well, a lot of zombies died. But that's the thing, cars there are more durable, I think. They last longer than they do in Unturned. Like if you run into zombies, your car will eventually be unrepairable, or yeah, not unrepairable, but break down, and you'll have to walk. And you have a limited amount of cars. I guess. Yeah. I guess there's a limited amount. And when you want to run around, like there's a car. Oh, that's convenient. Like, and then you drive it all the way to another part of the map. Then break it, or drive into something really hard and get this car destroyed. Then you won't have it next time, and then you'll be kind of well, you're kind of fucked to get somewhere actually.
Concept. Adds in.
Mm-hmm.
It will.
Yeah. Yeah, that should be a thing. But then I guess the problem that you have is again the fact that, well, the map is smaller. Isn't the map in State of Decay bigger than the one in Unturned? The maps in Unturned?
Actually think.
Yes, yeah, I guess so. Because it's well, when getting from one point to another, it could take very long at some points. So I guess it's a really big map. But I guess vehicles are also more frequent. Well, at the beginning, when you play State of Decay, when you haven't destroyed any of them, than they are in Unturned. But yeah, the thing is, well, we were talking about the characters that die, and those are still characters. Well, you've invested in them. Well, they are characters that are through loose stories come into your pack. Well, that's because of the wolf picture you put up. Now I was thinking of a pack. Yeah. Well, the thing is, they're still not the characters you have created yourself. I guess if you could create the characters that you play with yourself, I guess that would give you even more of an emotional bond with them, and that would make it more of a tragedy when they die because of a zombie eats them, or don't know, die of thirst, or die of not eating, or getting run over or shot by another player, or whatever may happen, or bandits steal your stuff. Because that was one of the concepts I was thinking of that should really be in a game. Like when you're in a world that has kind of started rebuilding, and you're in the city as your characters. You can make as many as you like, and they will appear in the city. You can then choose one of your characters. You can switch around, and then the objective of the game is to collect stuff from out of town, because you're kind of a scavenger, I guess. And with the stuff you scavenge, you make money, and the goal in the game would be to reach some political high position inside of the new society that arose from the zombie infested lands. Like you're in a safe zone, but you constantly have to go out of it to, well, get a better position in this realm, I guess. And it was one of the coolest concepts I came up with. But if I would have been a rich man, I could have probably turned that into a game. Well, yeah, that's what you have when you use referential humor. Yeah. Well, I guess it was the 2.0 version, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Hmm. Huh. I guess everything's stacked in the backpack, and we had to put on everything. Like when you need to put on a new backpack, you should first put it in your backpack and then put it on. Yeah. Yeah, but that was kind of like, whoa, it was hard to figure out. When, yeah, but it looked a lot harder even than that, because, well, maybe it was because I already played Minecraft before that looked easier to me, but whoa, I couldn't really get far. Like also the things with you have crafting and building, I guess, in Unturned. You can, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was like when I was trying to play it for the first time. I was looking up like what can I do with this, and yeah, I had to kind of tab out of the game, then look up what I can craft with this, and that's quite tedious, I guess. So this change is well really positive change, like telling you what you can do with a certain part. That's like a crucial thing to well to make the game run faster, I guess. I've only played PC Minecraft, so well I played Xbox once, at someone else's house, but not really familiar with how the Xbox version works. So but wasn't that also something like, well, what I saw because I never really played 7 Days to Die myself? Like the wasn't the crafting itself? Doesn't it also show you things you can make with certain materials? Yeah, yeah.
Axe before. Again, you can.
Hmm. So that's kind of a general way of crafting things that the games are evolving towards, I guess.
As more after you have to. It's a okay. It's like take that and dragging them.
Yeah, because when the other game you were comparing it to was Dead Island, I guess, and well, that's less extensive crafting. Well, less well, like there, I guess, because it's crafting on you're working on your weapons most of the time. Um, you don't really need materials to do some building stuff or to well dig a hole with a shovel or something. Those are all things that aren't possible in the game because you're playing like a story-based game there compared to a more survival-based games, which the other two are.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a huge difference there. But then again, that's a really simple crafting method. The one from that island.
Yep. And I fixed my mic audio, so I'm going to make the very broad assumption it was not picking it up. So I'm not going to make you go back and say everything you just said again. So that would be just tedious and sadistic of me.
Yeah.
So while my mic is out, they could hear what you were saying, but I generally asked crafting and blah 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 and zombies. Yeah, sum up.
Well, the good thing is you didn't say all that much up until this point because
Not a
you
whole lot was said. We just discussed various games like you could hear from their end, but you couldn't really hear me talking because I had noise gate on for my headset that I don't have with me.
oh damn. Well, so what are you gonna do? Are you gonna overdub it afterwards or something?
No, I'm
That would
gonna
sound.
leave it as is because
Yeah.
I'm sure people are gonna get your side or understand something somewhere screwed up, and it's like audio was fixed at so and so point. Like 30 audio fixed.
Finally.
My bad. Oops.
Yeah. So, were we still on crafting now, or were we gonna
If you want, we can move on
else?
to 7 Days to Die since we've been making some references to that.
Yeah, I guess we could.
So 7 Days to Die, it's more realistic than Unturned. It has more realistic player models and characters, and everything's actually round, not square. Although in
Yeah.
Unturned,
Yeah.
the trees are actually have a round base, but the zombies in them and everything's more realistic. It has a real Minecraft feel. It's still similar to Roblox, but it's an older game.
Mm-hmm.
And still has that sandbox mode to it where you can go around and destroy everything and craft just like you would in Minecraft. Only not blocks. It looks actually very nice. A fun game. I'd actually recommend getting it. Crafting recipes, like we were discussing, is fairly easy in it. Once you craft it once, you can craft it forever. As long as you have the materials, there's base building and all that. You have hunger, thirst, energy. However, one thing I really don't like about the game is you can't sleep.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing.
It's a weird thing that's in the game. Is it's nighttime. You can have a bed. You can set down a place of bed, and that's your home. You spawn there, but you can't sleep.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, what I saw in the video I mentioned before, well, the thing is they dug a hole, and they stayed in there. They covered it up. Yeah, they kind of skipped the nights. Well, they said like, let's end the video here. Next video will be the next day. So that kind of already made me think about the fact about what you can't sleep in this game. But the weird thing about these games is, well, even Minecraft has that to some extent. Isn't the fact that you have to have a bed to be able to sleep also a weird thing?
Like in this kind of
in a survival
game like that, where normally you could just sleep on the ground and sleep or choose to sleep, but it seems lots of games from Minecraft, Stranded Deep, Unturned, well not Unturned.
Yeah, they all have that.
What's it called? Dying Light. You all need a bed or a sleeping bag to go the next day.
Well, I guess the thing they could do is, well, penalize you for sleeping on the floor. Well, well, sleeping should give you some energy back, I guess. And if you sleep on the floor, you get less energy back. If you use a sleeping bag, that will get you some more. And if you get an actual good bed, or you could even place a mattress somewhere between that.
Yeah,
that,
that concept was of being penalized for depending on where you sleep and how. Has been integrated into a game mode in Gary's mod called Stranded, where you build a base, blah blah. It's like Minecraft, but Gary's mod. And you're penalized for you don't get as much energy back for sleeping on the ground. You're more exhausted. Your health doesn't regenerate.
Well, that should be something that they will. Actually, that should be added to a game like 7 Days to Die, I guess.
It should. It would be an interesting concept people to understand, because speaking personally from experience, Unturned isn't too horrifying at night. However, there was the update with the full moon, where zombies are 3 times as aggressive and red-eyed. But 7 Days to Die, however, at night, that is fucking terrifying. They dead sprint at you and maul you, and it's terrifying at night. So it would be good to be able to build a base or find a house and be able to sleep through that.
Yeah.
Kind of would take out the challenge for those people that do, for whatever sadistic reason, like getting the shit scared out of them by zombies and mauled and die.
Well, yeah, you can still choose not to sleep, I guess.
You can choose not to sleep, because there are some things that you could go outside, and I guess you rarely need food at that moment. You can go outside, but I'm one that when it gets night in 7 Days to Die, I'm the one that stays indoors and hides in the attic.
And I guess if you want to, they should not input the thing that they did in Minecraft, the fact that you can only sleep at night. You should be able to sleep during the day as well, like then the players that only want to get the shit beat out of them by zombies would sleep during the day and go out zombie hunting during the night and probably die horribly, really fast.
Yeah. And that was a thing that's in Gary's mod Stranded, is you can sleep whenever. Oh, it'd be an interesting concept to add into those games. Especially 7 Days to Die. I'm surprised with how old it is that they haven't integrated that yet. But I understand why with Unturned they haven't done it yet. It is still a fairly new game. It only came out last year. So, it's not too much to it.
Yeah, well, they're to some extent going for realism, so I guess beds should be a part of that. Sleeping on the floor should be a possibility. Sleeping on a mattress should be a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know. There should be a lot of possibilities there.
Yeah, as for realism, 7 Days to Die, I want to say, of the two so far, it is the most realistic. Everything does have a durability. You gotta actually have specific materials to craft something. There's food, water, cooking. It's more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think, like you said, should integrate a sleeping feature into the game.
Yeah, but there's a lot of crazy stuff that you could add to this kind of games. Like you could traps for zombies. That should be a cool thing. Well, you can get like chicken wire or something and some poles and try to make a trap which zombies, if they run into it, they get trapped in there. So you can kill them and loot them easily. That should also be cool.
They actually have that in 7 Days to Die, believe it or not. They have various traps you can create from barbed wire to wooden spikes.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Well, because I've only seen people play it through videos, and I've never seen anybody use a trap, so I guess they're not that easy to use.
The traps are easy to use. They're easy. Their barbed wire fence isn't too easy to make. It requires a lot of materials, but as for the wooden spikes, you get, I think it's 3 or 4 wooden spikes for 9 sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just place those on the ground anywhere. You can break them with an axe and take them with you. They're fairly easy to get.
Oh, you mean like the spike traps are well, you just have a hole with spikes in it, like wooden spikes. Oh yeah, those kind of... Yeah. But do you also have like traps where you can like catch zombies in them?
I don't think they have snares integrated into the game yet.
Because that would be cool, like a trap you could add to a... Well, you could attach something to a tree, like a rope, and if a zombie goes for something that's on there, it could get caught, hanging upside down. That would be really funny.
Yeah, a snare trap.
That would be really cool. And cages also would be really cool. But there's a lot of things they can do to... Well, what the hell is that? No. Well, there's a lot of things they can do to make it a cool, realistic games with new options that you don't have in other games. So there's a lot of new things they can do.
There's always room for improvement, especially 7 Days to Die. The developers are actually all the time coming out with new content, always keeping the community up to date on what's going on. So
yeah,
they're those rare good developers that are actually doing their job and doing their best to fix bugs and put everything out.
Yeah, like the bears they just recently added.
Yeah, and the motorbike you can ride around.
Yeah. Well, from what I've seen, the bear is also really strong and really hard to defeat, I guess.
Yeah, we had a conversation about that before this. You said someone was trying to use landmines and it still killed them.
Yeah, like 3 landmines and it didn't kill him. So
yeah, that might be something, if they haven't already, that will be nerfed, where they're less health and easier to kill, so they won't require 6 hand grenades or something to kill them.
Well, thinking about that, we don't know how strong the explosions of these landmines are, because they're actually kind of improvised landmines that you craft, so are they really as strong as normal landmines? I don't know, but I guess 3 landmines might be, depending on how strong the explosion is, might be a little much to kill a bear.
In real life terms, yes, a landmine is a bit of overkill, but as far as the game goes, I think the landmines could do with a little bit more damage, because as of now, you can have one of the super zombies, the big fat bloaters, walk onto it and it dies. But I don't know. It's something that the developers can think about and get done. Nerf the bear a bit, maybe change the damage of the landmines.
So that means that the bear is currently the strongest thing you could encounter in the game.
Since I've played, yes, but since last time I played, they did come out with the bear and several new zombie types. So I'm not aware of what the strongest one is, but last I played, it was the fat bloater zombies that were the hardest to kill.
Well, there are also a lot of different zombies in there because we haven't covered that because we went.
Yeah, as you said that, I changed to an image of a bunch of the zombies as you said that, so that was good timing. That was not planned whatsoever. So yeah, there are various kinds of zombies. Like this is actually a good image that I picked. You have nurse zombies, normal zombies. I like to call the ones in the red dresses hooker zombies. You got the naked zombies, spider zombies. They all have their own special ability. Like the spider zombies can climb walls. Nude zombies are the basic zombie. You get basic materials from them. And then the nurse zombie, however, you kill them, you have a chance of getting medical supplies, which everyone knows in every survival game you need medical supplies. You're not going to play the game without breaking a leg or getting some sort of illness. It's impossible. Yeah. Even you can claim to be the most MLG pro, and you're still going to screw up and hit that one plant that you weren't supposed to touch and get a rash.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking about plants, those are also things that you can use, like the healing plants.
There's aloe vera and various other plants you can craft together into different things, like aloe plants make aloe cream, and you can craft that into other things, and like
because plants are another thing that you can really use in Unturned now, or am I getting that wrong? There aren't really that much.
There aren't any plants in Unturned you can actually use, but there are berries you can use that. In some states, if you just pick up the bush and eat it in Unturned, it will give you an effect, or it won't. Sometimes you'll trip balls, other times it'll heal you, other times it does nothing, and it just increases your water or something, or it'll poison you. But in the different states, they have different effects, and there's actually a mod out for it, where you can liquefy them and drink them, and it does even different effects, but... with Unturned and the berries, it's all a bit of trial and error to see what version of the berry does what. But from what I've learned, the mashed berries, I think about 60% of them do good.
Okay. Well, and the thing you have with 7 Days to Die is that the plants you need are, well, they're easy to find, actually, as well. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, especially the aloe plants is one of the main things you need for your bandages, and you can find those in the cities around houses, or you can go in the desert and find thousands.
Yeah. But then again, you have to do so while dodging zombies, which...
And the cactus. Well, you gotta avoid cactus, too.
And the spawning of the zombies in the game is kind of a weird thing, I guess, as well, because you could look around, like, 360 degrees in an open field, and you could see nothing. And then zombies spawn in when you turn around for a second time.
Yeah, I don't know how the spawning works, but I have had that happen to me where there'll be nothing there, and then not 3 seconds later they'll be hissing and a horde of zombies coming over a hill.
Well, if they're coming over a hill, that's not that far-fetched, but sometimes they just spawn up, well, not close, but relatively close. Like where you go and you think like, where are they coming from now? How the hell is that possible?
Yeah.
Like they should really find a way. Like they should find a way to get a spawning diameter like this distance away from you, depending on where you are. If you're in an open field, then the diameter should be bigger. Well, I don't know how to fix spawning issues actually. It's kind of like a really complex problem when you think about it.
It's a very complex. A lot of people that say, oh yeah, you can totally add in this or this. It is a lot more to do it than just say, you have to go through all the different coding and programming to add in that undo button for your map creators, or add in your sprint effect. Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of programming and patience to get that down.
Yeah, the weird thing is that you should actually do something where, if you would look around 360 degrees, zombies shouldn't be able to spawn within the 360 degrees you could see when spinning around. But how do you do that? Well, you have like buildings and objects in which they then could appear because you can't see what's inside of there, so they can spawn. But programming that would, well, I guess that's really hard.
It is a little complicated. From experience of trying to make a game, it is a lot of work. It's complicated, and you need to have the patience for it. But a lot of people complain that you need to have that one undo button in the map. And you'd think that a simple undo button, just undo the thing you just did, would be super easy, and it's not. It takes you months to get the programming right, to actually have it work. And then to integrate it into the game is even more.
But you said about the zombies that the nurse zombies and yeah, there are naked zombies.
Well, they're not naked in a sense. They're more they're male zombie running around in their underwear.
Yeah.
They're like the one guy at the party that got a little too drunk.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Like, how does that happen? Like, how do people get zombified in their underpants? Maybe they were sleeping or something. Well, there's also always an explanation for that. But there's also movement types to those zombies, I suppose, because there are crawling ones as well, and limping ones, and ones that just, well, walk relatively normally.
Yeah, if you haven't ever played the game before, every zombie has their own thing. Like you said, the crawling zombies, they don't have much of an animation. Their arms will move, kind of like with Unturned, the new crawling zombies. They don't do much, but their arms. You have the spider walkers that have their arms always pointed straight out, and they're kind of waddling a bit. The big bloater zombies have that big gait to them, and all the other zombies kind of walk around normally, or they'll limp and stumble around.
Yeah, but the ones that really limp are harder to kill as well, because you have to, well, headshots do more damage, but it's harder to headshot them because you have to take into consideration when shooting at them that there is a certain timing to keep up. Well, they move at a certain timing, their head pops up at a certain timing, and you have to shoot right at the moment when you can actually hit their head. Like, well, you could follow their head, but who wants to follow that movement entirely?
Who wants to take the time out of their surviving day to follow the head of a zombie?
Well, yeah, and shooting at that zombie, you want to headshot them because, well, you don't want to waste all of your arrows, or you don't want to, well, invest too much time into one zombie while others come at you from behind, unseen. And well, you could get caught up in that and be surrounded by a horde at one point. So that would really suck.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about zombie games, because I'm not too big on the zombie survival genre. I'm more of the open world by yourself surviving, like Survive the Night, not Survive the Night, the On Your Own, The Long Dark, those kind of games where you're on your own, you have nothing to do, and you have to live. But zombie games, for me, add in more of that extra fear, the extra objective to not only survive, but don't get your face eaten off by the zombie next door.
Yeah. Well, wait, we talked about crafting here and zombies.
Yeah, so I don't know. Some days it doesn't really have much on the zombies. They're all fairly the same. The only ones you really got to worry about would be the crawling zombies, spider walkers, the bloaters, and the nurse zombies. However, in the new update, I've seen bloater zombies that shoot some sort of goo at you. I don't know. I haven't played it. I haven't played the new update yet, so not too fairly educated on that bit.
But there's a lot of stuff that goo could do. Like, it could be goo that poisons you and slowly drains your health.
I don't know. I watched a video the developers made of it, of a preview of it, and it shot some concrete and it damaged the concrete almost 50%. So.
Oh. So it's gonna be corrosive, probably.
I think it's a corrosive thing.
Yeah.
They'll integrate into it. Like, it is still new. Like I said, the update came out, I think, 3 weeks ago. So It might change where it does more damage, or if it hits it for a certain period of time, it will corrode the integrity of it to where it'll break eventually. Or like a spitter from Left 4 Dead, if the longer you're in it, the more damage it does.
Yeah, that was actually what I was talking about. What I was thinking about when you said like they shoot some kind of goo. I was thinking, could it be corrosive goo like like a spitter's goo, or would it be more like the boomer bile or something?
Yeah.
And when you said that it could eat into the concrete, well, I guess it's corrosive then.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the physics of it work, but in the video that I saw, it did damage concrete, so it is corrosive. That is a thing. But I'm not sure if it acts like bile from a boomer in Left 4 Dead, where if it hits you, it's on you for a bit, and it will go away after a while. But I'm not sure. I'd have to play it again and give that a try.
It would also be cool if you could use that to crafting advantages, like, or if you could turn that into a weapon, like some sort of grenade that explodes and makes zombies corrode away or something.
Farm them over time.
Yeah, that would be so cool. But yeah, if it's corrosive, how do you contain it? They had to make a realistic thing to contain that in before you could collect it. That's what I
maybe have a special kind of jars you can get only at a lab or a military base.
Yeah, it should be really specific then. Or just a kind of plastic, like, well, there are certain kind of plastics that don't, that can stand certain corrosive liquids. So
like I think normal plastic, like that you can get anywhere, I think it can withstand stomach acids. So maybe that would be a thing to integrate into it. Is I don't think their bile would be stomach acid. I think it'd be more of the virus mixing with everything else and becoming corrosive by activating with everything else. So it'd be an interesting concept to have, kind of like your boomer bile bomb in the game.
It would be cool, yeah. Well, if it's corrosive, it would be more like a spitter bomb, I guess.
Yeah.
Or it could, but it could have a double effect as well. It could be something that attracts zombies while hurting you in the process. Well, that would be really dangerous.
That would. I probably would hide all day at that point.
Hide all day and night. Yep. Till you die in a hole.
Just stay home until I die of something.
Touch the cactus, but how? Where did it come from? Like there was a tiny hole in your floor and the cactus spin stuck out of it and you stepped on it. Then you died. It would be the wimpiest death in a zombie survival game ever, I guess.
Oh my god, yes.
Or the game starts off and 1 minute later, died of dysentery. Something like that. or you start...
anal fissures.
So, or you die 1 minute into the game. You already had the AIDS. No.
You have AIDS now.
Oh damn. Like that would be a cool thing as well. Like if you had this kind of needles you could find, but people have injected themselves and there could be some AIDS on there or some other diseases. And there's picking them up, you have like a slight chance of stinging yourself and getting some kind of disease. Damn.
It would be crazy. A game of chance.
Yeah, or well, if they find a practical way to do it, like using your analog stick to, well, yeah. These games can be played with analogs if you want to, I guess. Or are they controller friendly? Games like 7 Days to Die?
I don't know if 7 Days to Die is controller compatible. I would have to look that up, but I want to say yes.
Well, but the thing about controller friendliness is, well, you could either choose to use a keyboard or use your controller, but I guess it would be really cool if games gave you the option to combine them both. Like, do some things with your keyboard and some things with your controller. It would be cool. Well, especially in these games where they add a lot of, well, things you can do. Like, if it's a game that has lots of options, lots of things to do inside of the game, then, well, more buttons couldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Like that thing, like where you could use the analogs to maneuver the syringe you found into some kind of containment thing you have, like into your backpack without stinging yourself or something. Would be funny.
Alright, so with Unturned talked about crafting, so kind of go into that, how it works in 7 Days to Die. And like I was talking about, if you craft an item once, you can click to craft it again if you have the materials for it. So its crafting is more like the Minecraft. Like the image I have up here looks, it shows you what it looks like. I think they updated it though recently, so it changed it a bit. But it's a similar style to Minecraft, where you have the empty boxes and you have to manually place everything in there and hope you make something. But on the side, if people that watch this see, it does have your various things here, but they update it, so it has the little tab on the left now that has tools, guns, and specific categories like Unturned does. So it will help with actually crafting things, but it will tell you if you have a specific material, like say you have a stick, it will show you all the items you can make with that stick and what you need to finish crafting it.
When I think about those things like crafting, it would be really cool if you, well, I guess it can be handy to know how to make things, but it's kind of a weird standard thing to start with. Like, you know how to craft these things without having ever crafted them. That sounds kind of weird to some extent. Well, you could kind of use a book system where you have books where you can look, oh, this is the way you can make something, and that would add some realism to well, crafting. But I don't know if it's gonna take a lot of time and it's gonna slow a game down, I guess, as well. So I guess showing you what you can do with a certain material is kind of the best way to go.
Yeah, and I just looked it up on Steam. No, 7 Days to Die does not have controller support. It is cross-platform, though, so if you have any friends that are on a Linux or a Mac, you can play with them on your Windows. And vice versa.
Well, aren't most games these days?
Most games nowadays are becoming cross-platform. But, I don't know, all my friends have Windows, so I don't really worry about it too much.
Oh yeah, we don't, so... Well, I have, but Metal doesn't. Well, for recording that's easy, because QuickTime actually works really good for recording on a Mac. So, screen recording stuff.
Yeah.
But that's going off topic.
That's getting off topic. We've gone off topic at least 6 times in this entire thing. Yeah, the crafting, people who are familiar with Minecraft, is very similar. Taking your items and manually placing them in to make something. However, the game, for whatever reason, is so nitpicky on the order of everything. I tried making arrows in the game, just simple arrows, which you need a rock, a stick, and a feather in a row. And I was in a rush, so I put them in the middle. And I made crossbow bolts, because the stick was in the middle slot. You have to have the stick in the top right slot, and the rock in the top right corner. Otherwise, it's not going to make arrows, it's going to make bolts, and they're useless in a bow. So, that's something I'm not too big of a fan about. Like, maybe they can update it in a future update where an arrow requires 2 sticks, while a bolt requires 1. Because they're the same craft recipe, just depends on where you place it. So that's a bit of a downside for me in the crafting. Is a lot of the things are the same recipes, just depends on where you put them in the boxes. Will change what it is.
Well, yeah, I guess it can be a problem in a game where you're trying to survive and where you're trying to move around quickly and trying to dodge zombies when you have to, well, invest too much time in making stuff because you need to be careful not to make the wrong thing. And yeah, that can be a problem, I guess.
Yeah, and like I said several times already, it does have a click to craft, but you have to have made it at least one time. So if you've made a stone axe with a stone, stick, and plant fiber, and you have an extra stick, stone, and plant fiber, you can click to craft that fire axe by going to the Tools tab and clicking fire axe, or stone axe. And it'll craft it for you.
Mm-hmm.
But it is still a bit of a pain of trying to first craft something, and you just happen to put it one slot over and it makes something you don't need.
Well, that's wasting materials, and if it's something you can't use, then well, those materials are totally wasted. Then you have just well, that also depends on how rare the materials are you're using. If you would use something that's really hard to find, then you would well try to make something very quickly, and you would well make the wrong thing. Well, then you have wasted something you were searching for about 2 hours maybe, and that would be really awful.
Yeah, I think the couple of the rarest items I've come across would have to be bullet tips. You cannot craft those. You can actually have to Google it. You cannot get bullet tips naturally. You have to actually find bullets and tear the bullet apart. And to do that, you would reverse craft it. So normally where your thing would pop out of saying you crafted it, you'd put it there, and then it shows you the materials it uses. However, a downside to that is once you take one of those items away from it, such as the bullet tips or the gunpowder, all those other items that were used in the bullet disappear forever. So if you only selected the shells, everything else is gone. But the shells and gunpowder are easy to craft. It's just the bullet. Well, I tend to grab the gunpowder the most because bullet tips are easy. You just need lead. But I think it's something they should probably change to where you can reverse craft it and take all. Because it's kind of annoying to find a 7.62mm round with 3 things of gunpowder and a bullet and all this. You need all of that. And just to be able to have to make a choice of, do I want one or the other? And I'd rather be more realistic, where if you were to take a bullet apart, you have all of it.
Yeah, I guess that would be more realistic. That's kind of like if you were to make stairs in Minecraft. It's also an unrealistic thing, because when you make them, you get a smaller block than you started with, and you, well, what was it, like six stone? You need 6 stone to get 4 stairs. That's like, what? I made a smaller block, but I needed more rocks. What? That makes no sense. Like, it's that kind of thing that you get in, well, with the bullets as well in 7 Days to Die. So yeah.
It is. It's something that developers can think about, and I think some people have mentioned it as it becoming a thing. But like I said, for Unturned, it takes a lot of programming and time to even get a simple undo button. So to try and integrate full deconstruction of a bullet into your inventory would take so much time and effort. It wouldn't really be worth it, because you can easily craft that. But it'd be a good start for those people who don't have a forge to make what you need, and you can just steal all the parts and then make the bullet they actually need, like your 9mm or something for your pistol.
But when you look at these games that are actually out there, well, this is more generally, I guess. I guess there's still a lot of room for improvement, a lot of new things to be made. Like, even other developers can come in and like make a title that's just takes the crown. Like, this is the new best zombie survival game out there.
Yeah. And any game, well, for that matter.
Yeah. Well, I guess there's when you look at gaming, like well, the first thing I played was a NES. So looking back at that, there's a lot of more options you get now. But if you look at these games and you look at reality, there's still a lot more that can be done in future that may not even be possible to get working on this new generation of consoles, or this generation of computers. So
yeah, and that's actually something I want to bring up in a future episode.
Sorry.
No, making a good point though. Like evolution of like gaming, where we've come from, but that is a good point. Of there is improvement. There is all this new stuff. Like I think the first console I ever played on was the Nintendo 64. So seeing games then and now, it is a good change, but there is always room for improvement. Even in your big AAA games like Dying Light or Call of Duty, you can always improve. There's always that new technology coming out.
I don't guess those Call of Duty games really improve because they all look the same to me.
They're all kind of the same.
And
once you play the first 4, the rest are all the same. They kind of just change it up with a different weapon or something.
A thing that really annoys me about those games, and we're off topic, so you can cut that out, but I think it's interesting to talk about this, is the fact that those dying animations they have in Call of Duty, they oh my god, they're I don't think they belong in games that are being produced today. Like, they either ragdoll or they have this weird pre-made dying animation that makes no sense.
This weird thing where you blow up from a grenade and you flail in the air.
Yeah, that still happens in... Damn.
Like, that was a thing in Call of Duty 2. And that was back in 2009? 2008? Somewhere around there?
From what I've seen, I've never played the more recent games, but from what I've seen in... What was the last game called again?
The last game that came out for Call of Duty was Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. In that one, there are still these horrible dying animations.
The animations are horrible in that.
Yeah, they are. Okay, but
we're getting off topic again, so...
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, there's always room for improvement in any game. Especially the technology they showcased at E3. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. But I still don't know what they're going to do with what was it? The virtual reality thing?
The Oculus Rift?
No, not the virtual reality thing. Like
HoloLens.
The HoloLens. Don't know what they're gonna do with that. Like from what I saw, it looked like you could look at things in Minecraft through that. But could you actually play the game through that, or is it more like an Overlord kind of thing that would have this? Like, what is it called again? Damn.
I don't know. I know what you're talking about, though. I just don't know what that would be called.
They have a terminology for like the game Evolve, where you have like one team does this, one team does another thing, or like with the new Wii modes, like the Wii U things, like the touchpads, and then you have the normal remotes, and both parties do a different thing. There was yeah. But I guess that's something that the HoloLens will add to something like Minecraft. I don't think the people using the HoloLens will be able to do all the same things than the normal computer playing people at first. Might be something that's possible afterwards, but I guess not in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's asymmetric gaming experiences, I guess. That's what they call that. It's really dark in here. Gonna have to fix that.
An hour and a half, and you now realize that it's dark where you are.
It became darker.
Yeah, it became darker. Well, I guess it's not... it's still daytime where you're at, so...
Yeah, it's only 2 in the afternoon here.
Well, I don't know how late it is now. Like,
it's 10 p.m.
10 p.m. Okay. So yeah, it's beginning to get dark.
Yeah. Well, this is almost finished up. We just have Dead Island, and then kind of want to talk a bit about the second Dead Island coming out that everyone's getting hyped for.
Yeah, the trailer looked cool.
I saw the trailer for Dead Island 2. It actually looked really good. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I guess we'll keep that for the end of the video.
That would be like more of the end. They'll follow up with Dead Island.
Yeah. So getting to Dead Island then?
So moving on Dead Island, but crafting wise, 7 Days to Die has my heart. I like it. It's a good game.
Yeah, I guess so too, because Unturned, they're really still working on that game, and don't know how the crafting will evolve, so we can't really predict that. And then you have like the game we're gonna talk about now, Dead Island. It's really limited because you're crafting your weapons.
It is limited. I personally haven't played Dead Island, but I do have friends who have played it and recommend I do. But I have seen videos on it. I'm not too well educated, so I'm hoping you guys are. But
Yeah.
I haven't personally played. I've been meaning to, though. I just don't have the money yet.
I only need to refresh my mind about the kind of zombies, because there were different kind of zombies, but I forgot all about them.
I know there's like a ramming zombie, normal zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, those ramming ones are. Oh yeah, those are the ones in the straitjackets. They like run at you. You have to dodge them, then shoot them in the back because that's their only weak point. Yeah. And then but that's not the first kind of special zombie, because there are some special zombies, and that's not the first one you encounter.
So tell us about these special zombies, because I don't know anything about them. I only know the basic ones that try and eat your face off.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to, look it up real quick to see what they look like, and then I can really remember what they were.
They're bad people, is what they are. They're bad people.
Wait, you're just showing me one kind of zombie.
Yeah, but it's one of a kind zombie.
Yeah, one that I never encountered, I guess. It's a one-of-a-kind zombie. What, you mean like...
There's only one location you can find them.
Yeah, but I probably never saw him. There's a Jason zombie, like Jason Voorhees style zombie in the game, and it's a unique zombie. But I didn't know that because I have not encountered that one. So, zombies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those ones. Oh yeah.
They're bad people. They're very sick, and we need to cure them. Zombies are people too. Zombies are people too.
Well, I guess the first special zombie that you encounter, but I guess the Suicider is the first one, which is a zombie that explodes.
I think I could have guessed that much from its name.
Yeah, from.
Or it's just the one that you see on the building and it walks off and dies of no use to you. Yeah, it's just a Suicider zombie. They're not a threat. They just kill themselves randomly, like that.
But also, when you look at I started talking about the special zombies, but the regular zombies are there are 3 different types of them as well. Like you have the normal walker, which is kind of slow. You can easily kill it. They can't only walk, I guess. They can run at a slow pace as well when following you. Damn, it's been a while since I played this game, but I guess they could run too. But then you have the infected, which are, I guess, people who have been recently infected.
So more of like a World War Z thing where you have the older, it's more of a new infection, so they're all dead, sprint at you, maul your face off.
Yeah, they really sprint at you.
And you have the other zombies that are more Walking Dead, where they're slow and stumbling everywhere.
Yeah, but they can run at you as well, but not at they can't sprint. Let's just say that.
So more like a State of Decay normal zombie, where they're walking along, they catch on to you, and they kind of do like a power walk, jog thing to you.
Yeah. But then there's also like this more heavy-duty, slow zombie that likes... When it comes at you very slowly, it doesn't run, and when it punches, it's like it flails its arms. So you have to
That sounds very effective for a zombie. I'm just gonna flail at you. I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah, but when they hit you, you fly away because they're kind of strong. And the thing is, you have to time your attack, so they swing at you, you have to hit them, because you mostly use melee weapons in this game, because ammo is really scarce, so... The thing is, what you could do is you could throw your knives or stuff at them, and that will damage them as well. But if you throw a knife into their face, you have to retrieve it. So you have to still get close to the zombie while it's attacking you. So you have to time. Always, you have to time it right. So you don't get.
You don't get your face eaten off.
Yeah, no, you don't get thrown back 2 meters and get attacked by other zombies. Because I don't know what this guy does after killing you. It just punches you far away. It's like, leave me alone. That's basically what it does. Then there's another thing. I can see it right here. It says butcher. I forgot about them as well. But those are these weird zombies that, well, they don't have forearms. They have like this sharp pin, like they've been cut, like their arms have been cut off into a pin, and well, they come at you very, very fast as well.
Like a Dead Space necromancer.
Yeah, but they move like people, not stumbly and stuff. And there is one I totally forgot about, which is the fat ass floater. I really don't remember what that does. No. It's a fat zombie. That's all I know about it. They're the one from the sewers. Oh, yeah. Oh, you only... What, do you only see them in the sewers? Because, yeah. I ran through the sewers twice. Oh! They have corrosive slime. Yeah. That can blind and disorient you. So, they can attack from a distance as well.
So like the spitter and a boomer had a baby type thing.
Yeah, but they don't attract zombies, so well, it looks like a boomer and acts like a spitter, I guess. Well, yeah, and those are the special zombies and the normal zombies. Well, the ram, yeah, that's something I talked about, the one that runs into you, and you have to shoot him in the back, dodging him. They have, I guess their weak point and their back can easily be seen also. The other zombies, you just have to shoot them, well, where you can hit them. Preferably in the head to kill them quickly. But then, yeah, maybe we move on to the whatever limited crafting system there actually is.
The very limited crafting I know nothing about.
Well, actually, the crafting is you collect your weapons, you collect materials that could improve your weapons, and that's all there is to it.
So, like, a good comparison would be it's like Dying Light. It's the same general crafting recipe.
Well, I guess, yeah.
You find something, and you can craft something, you can find a weapon, upgrade for that weapon, and upgrade it.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay, so it's exactly like Dying Light.
Yeah, I guess they used the same system because they were planning on making it the second Dead Island. So, I guess that's what happened.
Well, I guess that summed up Dead Island because that's everything.
I
was hoping that there was going to be more to the crafting of it, but if it's just like Dying Light, there isn't much to it if you've already played Dying Light.
No, there isn't much to it. Like you can have a machete, for example, and you could add something to it so it can electrify zombies when you use it.
Yep, that's in Dying Light.
Yeah, so it's the exact same.
It's the same crafting recipe system then.
Yeah.
All right, so that was easy one. So since I haven't played it, what would you rate the crafting in Dead Island on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, there's a problem comparing it to the other games because it's a different kind of game. But the crafting, for what you need to do, I guess it's a decent crafting system. Would give it a 7.5 or something.
That's a pretty broad statement there.
What?
That's a pretty broad statement saying for how limited it is, a good 7.5.
Well, it's limited, and it could have been something more, I guess. Even within a story-based game, well, I don't know if I can call it. It's kind of in that weird in between a story-based game and open world game kind of realm where it's neither of the two.
Yeah.
And that sometimes makes it seem like it's lackluster in both things, but then again, it's a great gaming experience as well. So I don't know how I would rate the game itself. I liked it. I played it like twice, so that's the thing. Then again, comparing it to, well, I could compare it to both. Like you had, well, the open world games, and you could compare it to something like my favorite story-based zombie game, which is still Resident Evil 4, because I still think that's the best one. Well, story-wise, that game is better, but the fact is, you don't have to. You don't have an open world there, because I guess an open world can kind of ruin story-based games to some extent, but then again, they give you
if it's done right. I've played a lot of open world games and a lot of open world story games. It all depends on how open the world is. Like I know BioShock is fairly open world, but you're limited to that area. So you're limited to Rapture, but everywhere you go is gonna kind of build onto the story. You're gonna find you gotta go out and actually find secrets that are gonna explain more of what happened. You're gonna build onto the characters you're not gonna meet. But more on like a Dying Light or something, where it's you go where you want and do what you want. It's a little more open. There's not much to the story. You don't have to do the story. There's also random stuff that has nothing to do with the story that you can do. While BioShock, it's more, yes, you can do what you want, but there's always going to be progress building to the story, not just some random side mission.
Yeah, that's. But then again, when I think about it, I think the story of Dead Island is also kind of a stupid cliche story in itself. It's not really, except for the setting, like they placed zombies on a tropical island, and I guess that's what they wanted to do something different. But the story itself is kind of cliche. So I guess it's not the fact that you combine the story and that it's poorly combined, but I guess that just the story itself isn't good. And actually, the open world things kind of save the game, because it's fun to run around and kill the zombies, mostly because you're using melee weapons, and yeah, you have some fairly decent attacking animations as well, like or the fact how zombies when they react to being hit and stuff. So I guess it's the gameplay that's good about the game, and the story kind of drags behind it.
Yeah.
But wasn't that also the game that had like the very emotional trailer from with the girl falling through the window and the zombies and stuff? Dead Island?
I don't know. I don't think I've seen the trailer for Dead Island.
Well, because I guess that was the trailer for the first Dead Island, and the problem with that is that they kind of made it seem like it had a very interesting story, but then again it didn't. So. I hope that's something. I hope the Dead Island 2 has a compelling story, as well as a good gameplay. Well, if they just added some new elements to the same gameplay, it could be a good game if it has a good story.
Yeah.
Because that's just the main issue to fix, the story.
Alright, so the thing all bit Dead Island fans have been waiting for, Dead Island 2, which I was doing some research on it today, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Dead Island fans are depressed right now because it's been delayed until next year.
Yeah.
But I did see the trailer of it. The trailer looks fucking awesome, and it looks like a game I would get just to mess around in, so.
Yeah, the thing is, well, when I first saw the setting, I thought, well, this looks like this looks like the setting from GTA 5 or something, and it turns out that it is LA. So yeah, it's kind of that's kind of a funny thing. You have like this nostalgic. I've been gaming wise, I've been to LA, and now you're revisiting that in a different game. That in of itself has some, well, adds some fun to the game, I guess.
You can have all those conspiracy theorists for gaming can get on this of, there's there's one place in Grand Theft Auto 5 you cannot go to in the Air Force Base. That's an elevator. That people claim it goes to the Alien Research Lab. So, since it takes place in the same location, like it's Los Santos, not L.A., but same thing. You're gonna have those conspiracists now going around saying that there was actually like some sort of thing down the elevator and it caused the Dead Island 2 incident, or something like that.
Yeah, but from what I've seen, what was the stuff about the characters? Are they gonna use the same main characters, or was it a thing I just saw somewhere in some weird untrue posts that I saw some time ago?
I'm not sure if they'll be using the same characters. Like I said, I haven't played any of the Dead Islands, but...
No, they're gonna use new characters, thank God, because that would have really sucked. Like, yeah, it would be really hard to kind of input the same characters into a game with a completely different setting, like you... But now the name of the game makes no sense, because, yeah, they've moved it to LA, they're not on that tropical island anymore.
Well, they'd be keeping the name because that is a continuation of the Dead Island franchise, but I want to say that with most sequels like this that are zombie-based, or even just survival-based like Long Dark, they'll have a sequel to it, but it'll build onto the starting event of this. Like, what caused this to happen? Like Bioshock. Bioshock 1, you're kind of thrown into this wasteland, while Bioshock 2 is more of the events kind of before it that led up to that event.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it'll go more of the Bioshock route of it's going to build more on the original story of why this happened. They're not just on the island, they're actually everywhere in the world. And it's going to build off of how this happened, who let it happen, and why.
I guess so, because, well, the first game made you think that the outbreak was limited to the island, but then again, there wasn't really any communication with the outside world, so all could have gone to shit over there, so that's something you didn't know.
Yeah, another theory that you could throw on there, since you have no communication, is that island is a test island for the thing, for the virus, but it probably escaped and has moved to the main island through boats or birds or something. You always have the possibility that people, probably won't say it in the story, but those people will say, like, it could have gotten there through the air, it mutated and traveled through the air now, and the whole plan of, let's test this new super weapon backfired or something.
Or the characters that came from the island actually brought the disease. Because the thing is, those characters, well, one of the main premises of this game is that the 4 characters that you play as, that you can choose from, are actually immune to the disease. But being immune doesn't mean that you can't pass on the disease itself.
Yeah.
And they escaped the island, so maybe they brought the disease with them and then infected people outside of the island.
Yeah, with it having been delayed to 2016, not a whole lot of information on it, it leaves room open for all those people to go out and come up with their theories of what happened and what it could entail for the player playing it, and the story, if it'll build onto it, if it's going to go back in time, and you find out, no, it wasn't just the island that was the start. It was everywhere else here, and it started on the mainland from some new plant or something happened.
Yeah, but I wonder, well, you have to really find something special when you're, when you want to, well, tell people the source of the outbreak, because if you go with some kind of cliche,
like it was the military,
yeah,
or it was a new cure for the common cold and it backfired and is killing everybody.
Yeah, that's like, I guess sometimes it's better to just keep the mystique and not tell what happened.
Yeah, it's kind of what Unturned is going with. I've kind of come up with a theory of Unturned since they updated 3.0. They added in the laboratory where the outbreak started. And he updated it again where there's a broken fence now and there's military vehicles and personnel there. And it kind of builds on his story of what happened. You don't know why that institute is there, but it's called the S1E1 Institute of Tomorrow. So you don't know if they're making a disease or if they're making a cure.
Oh yeah.
You don't know.
So, well, there's some mystique left there. That's cool.
There's still a mystery. You don't know if this is a military institution. Is it a branch of a college where they mess with the chemicals or what? It doesn't tell you. But what it does tell you with the new update is the military showed up. So obviously something bad happened. In fact, you couldn't tell with the zombies being everywhere. But the military needed to come in and try and stop it, which they failed. And also build on with all the custom maps people built for Unturned that take place in America. It will help build a story of it's not just Canada, it's all over the world. I mean, I know it's not part of the story, but that's how I like to look at it, is you have these maps that are it starts in Canada, and you have all these maps that take place in, like, America, or some abandoned island, or Spain, or something. So, like, helps build, it's not just here, it's spread around the world. But there's still that mystery to it.
So the game's gonna have multiple open maps or something?
No, the main game only has the one map, but the workshop has player-made maps that you can download and play on. They have zombies and or not, and I don't know. So for me, it kind of would build onto a story of, well, these are player-made maps. They're not official. It still kind of builds on of you can make your own story of what happened and what caused it to spread around the world. Why couldn't it be contained? That's how I'm looking at it.
Well, yeah. I guess a story about why it couldn't be contained is even more interesting than the source itself.
It is, because like an Unturned, you know the source was the S1E1 Institute. You can see the zombies in their tubes, and you can see a couple broken ones, but what were they doing there that caused the zombies? Who caused one of them to break out? It all leaves that big mystery, so that's what I'm hoping Dead Island's going to do. But the second one is still keep a bit of a mystery, but maybe hint towards what actually happened. Was it a rock that hit Earth and people started experimenting with it, and it had some unknown bacteria or something that drove everyone mad?
Yeah, that's the thing. Some games keep it from their source was the zombies was like is it as sad in the internet how the zombies came to be, or is that just there's not really actual story to the game. It's like more of the you play these maps and there's some well, you could call it story, but there's some cutscenes tying it together, but
it's more open-ended.
Yeah. So that's there you have that. Like with the Resident Evil games, like they immediately almost talk about Umbrella and what they're doing, but they keep the mystique from why they're doing it until a certain point, and then you get to know that. But then in another game, there's another plot and stuff. So you could either be really open with the source of the zombification, or you could like just leave it open to speculation entirely.
Yeah.
And I don't know which route Dead Island will be going.
I don't know. I'm curious to see. I'd still have to play the first one and then go in the second. But I'm curious on what it would go, because I do like those games where there isn't a whole lot of a story, but there's enough there that gives you there is still a story, but you as a player have to piece it together of what does this mean? Why did that happen? I don't know. I think with it being delayed, it's going to leave more room for speculation on what happened and why Dead Island is a thing.
Well, I guess that's part of the fun, and being delayed is never really a bad thing. It's like, oh, I have to wait longer, and unless you get some kind of horrible disease and die in the meantime, well, you can wait a bit longer.
Yeah.
So even if you're a total fanboy, most of the time, taking more time trying to improve the game just is a good thing. You don't want these rushed games like, well, no examples come to mind. Yeah, like Call of Duty. Or one comes to mind: Assassin's Creed Unity. Weren't there a lot of glitches in the first games? Yeah. Wait, not really. There are still a lot of bugs in Assassin's Creed Unity. So yeah, you have these Rust games, like that's never a good thing. At least they're taking their time. You have to wait longer, but at least you get a decent game. Well, let's hope.
No, hope. Wait, all it's up to is you're hoping you're getting a better game. And who knows, maybe they'll change the crafting style of it. Make it more in-depth.
Yeah, but it would be hard to think about what you could add to a game that is actually also a story-based game. Like the previous game, well, you had bases and well, maybe they're gonna add some stuff to the bases. Maybe they're gonna be free to choose your bases or something, and you can build on that, or don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see for that.
Oh, we'll have to wait. I think the date they had, was sometime in July next year or January next year.
So that's still
a good ways away.
It's gonna be the same time next year, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite long. But I guess we'll have to wait.
It's only a few months. You can wait for it.
A few months? Like 12?
If you can't wait for it, you can always torrent it, which I don't recommend because that's illegal.
Yeah, that's illegal.
That's illegal. Well, if you do torrent it, maybe you could tell us the game. Not saying for you to go out and do it, but if anyone else wants to go and torrent the game, feel free to spoil everything.
We'll give the insights.
Tell us how shit it is.
You've heard it here first.
You heard it here first. The early alpha that's not even out yet is shit. I wonder why. It's the early alpha that's not released yet.
The player models are just wire models, so...
They're just stick people. I wonder why. There's no color.
The zombies look like absolute shit.
There are no zombies.
They're dead, yeah.
They haven't added the zombies yet. There's no zombies in the zombie games. It's stupid. You have the early alpha that's not supposed to be out yet.
Damn.
Alright, so... I think that sums it all up.
I guess that does. So, these were your, well... I thought you said something about your favorite games, but were these your favorite games? Apart from the fact that you plugged in Dead Island because Dead Island 2 is coming up in about a year.
I did throw in Dead Island just because I've been wanting to play it. And just because Dead Island 2 is going to be coming out, and it's one of those things to jump on that train. Get a hold of that, grab it by the balls, and go for it.
Okay. So those were your favorite kind of zombie survival games then?
Those would be my top 3 if I played Dead Island. Because I've heard good things about it. I've heard good things from a friend about it.
Yeah.
But I'd have to play it myself.
But again, the story isn't... Don't expect anything great from that. It's really
I'm more of the fuck around the entire time.
Well, that's fun. That's a lot of fun.
I like the Dead Rising games. Don't play a story, just fuck around.
Well, if you like that, well, this is kind of that game, but a lot less over the top. Like if you were to look at Saints Row and compare it to GTA, well, that's kind of the same difference as you have here with Dead Rising series.
Yeah.
But when you play it, I hope you enjoy it.
I hope so too. I don't want to have to spend all that money just for me not to like it.
Well, I guess it couldn't be that expensive.
It's still about 30 or so bucks. So.
Really?
Yeah, it's still expensive.
Is it like 3 years old now?
I'm not sure its age, but I know it's still expensive.
Oh, but but is it $30 with all of the add-ons?
I don't know. I'd have to look at that.
Well, if that's the case, then well, that's still probably a decent price. But $30 for the game itself without its add-ons would be kind of a high price, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess we've reached the end of this.
That would be the end. So, thanks for at least showing up. I'm sad the other guy didn't respond back to me. But you always have a backup. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow then. Also.
Yeah. For my interview with you guys.
Yeah.
So thanks to everyone for watching. It's Lolzosaurus guys. They're, like I said at the beginning of this, they're two brothers. You're Danish, right? No. Okay, so I messed that up in the beginning then. I said you're like Danish or something, so not Danish, you're
Belgian.
Belgian. Close enough. You're close enough.
Beer and fries.
Feel free to subscribe to them. Their link is on the screen and in the description. And until next time, subscribe to them, not me. I suck. Subscribe to them.
Well, we've subscribed to you because we saw we didn't subscribe. Well, we just saw we did not. We weren't subscribed to you, and then it's like, oh, yeah.
No, subscribe to us if you want.
Subscribe to everyone in the SGA.
Subscribe to everybody. Subscribe to everybody. Everyone needs love. Except him. Just don't subscribe to them. I lied. Don't subscribe to them. They don't need love. Just subscribe to me. Go to me the entire time. Don't just if you're subscribed to them, unsubscribe. It's free to unsubscribe. They actually have it set up. They've actually hacked YouTube, so they're charging you money daily to be subscribed to them. So I'm free.
No, you've got it all wrong.
No.
There's a huge fine on unsubbing now. You have to pay like $1 million if you want to unsub. And like subbing can give you money, like well, it can give you a nice $0.
Oh no! Don't listen to them. They're lying. It's free to unsubscribe, but they're charging a good chunk of money to be sub now. It's a new feature in YouTube they're integrating. I don't do that. Oh jeez.
Well, I guess that's a thing now.
That's going to become a thing now on YouTube.
Well, looking at this, you can't say that we do that shit because not even fan funding is available in our country. Looking at that now,
it's available in my country.
And
I don't use it.
Also, paid content is not available in our country. Or
I can get paid content.
Or no.
Oh, I can make more money than you.
Well, that's something good for the people to know. So basically, Ollie was telling you about our channel is true for his channel. Because he can do fan funding and he can do paid content. So subscribing costs a lot of money.
Subscribing doesn't cost any money. We're joking.
Yeah, we're joking. Man, damn, there could be really stupid or people that don't know anything about YouTube out there. Oh my god!
It costs you money. I'm sorry. And then get in some confused loop of if you're subscribed, you spend money, but it costs a fee to unsubscribe. Then what do? Do you just continue to pay the subscription fee, or do you pay the unsubscribe fee?
Oh my god. Well, I guess you only pay the unsubscribe fee.
I guess you're fucked. If you don't want to spend money.
Yeah, well, I guess then you would be fucked. But I guess if there was one old guy looking at this video like, I want to be hip, I want to know. And
I want to be hip with the cool kids. Be one of the cool kids.
And then he was like, zombie games. Those are hip now.
Dude, the zombies are hip. Oh, you gotta pay money to subscribe to the youngsters. Oh, it's the hip thing, doll. I'll pay for it.
No, I can't afford my applesauce.
I can't afford dentures. But it's okay. I don't need them.
I'll eat applesauce.
I'll eat the apples. Put it in the blender for me.
It would be funny, like if old people.
You should do that as a skit.
Like, do you want to drink that bottle of Coke? Just put it in the blender.
Put it in the blender for me.
What do we do with the bottle? Put it in the blender.
Put it in the blender.
Wanna watch some television? Put it in the what?
Put it in the blender. You guys gotta make a video of that.
Standard reply to anything. Hey, look, it's your new grandson. Put it in the blender.
Oh, that's fucked up. Oh, look, I have a grandson. Put him in the blender. I'll eat it later. I need to get my pills in the blender right now.
Can I have a straw with that?
Oh god, you gotta make that a video. I haven't said it yet, but these guys, they make live skits and random skits and gaming. Check them out. Link's in the description below and on the screen here. Oh god, that's a video. That's a thing you gotta do now. I will gladly help do voiceovers and stuff for that.
It would be really hard to dress up as an old dude. We don't know anyone who does cosmetics like that. Who does like.
Oh, just get some like a gray wig or something and put it on your head.
That's enough.
It's close enough. Have a cane. Put it in the blender.
Yeah, and you don't have to really be worried about offending people then, because I don't know many old people are gonna watch that.
It's gonna be all the youngsters.
And yeah, there might be some social justice warriors who get offended.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's degrading to old people. They'll never know.
They will never suspect a thing.
I'll tell them. Well, they would have forgotten by tomorrow, so tell them anyway. Who cares?
We'll tell them. They'll Alzheimer's will kick in an hour.
Can I have my applesauce?
Why am I here? Yeah, so thank you guys for being on here at least. Again, we'll show up.
Yeah.
No, this is fun.
Well, yeah, we were doing this stuff right before you came on, so
yeah.
Just change the format. Now you're leading the conversation.
And now I'm in charge. I've always been in charge.
Well, leading the conversation. Actually, what we did was ask questions and hope that the other guy talks a lot, because that's really important when you're doing an interview, that you're not the one talking like 50% of the time. It's like you talk like 10% of the time, and the other one does all the talking for you. That's how
guest talks most.
And that's what worked. That's how it worked, because yeah, Nox, he's really talkative. So that was an easy one. It's gonna be a long video though.
Yeah, I'm gonna clip out the bit of us getting off track in the middle there.
Yeah, that might be best.
Yep.
You could save it, so like if you did it next
bloopers.
So, and on the previous show, we already talked about the topic we had on this video, like this. What? Really?
Previously,
totally unrelated, but it fits into this episode. Here we go.
It fits in this one somehow.
If like the guest you have done was like, yeah, gaming, yeah, it evolved. Yeah.
It's a thing. We have string now.
I played on Xbox 360. Now I have PS4. So yeah, what's changed?
It's changed a lot since the Xbox 360 to the Xbox 360 Slim. I mean, they took out the memory card. That was a thing. They took out the hard drive. That was a big deal for me.
Yeah. Until they had the cloud stuff, we needed a memory card because our parents were divorced and we had to go back and forth, and we had like 2 Xboxes, and we had to use a memory card to transfer our profiles every time so we could play the same progress. Same games, well, with the same profile. So we had to use a memory card in the beginning of the Xbox 360. Yeah, and then the clouds came and the rain.
Ain't no stopping us now.
Yeah, but I guess we'll have to stop this now because it's getting.
It's dragging on to the 2-hour mark. I was wanting this to be about an hour and a half, but it's going on 2 hours. So, again, thanks for being on. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Catch you later.
See you tomorrow then.
Yeah.
See ya.
So that's the Lolzosaurus guys. Again, they are two Belgian brothers, and they make skits. Feel free to check them out. Like I said, link is on the screen and in the description below. Subscribe to me. This is going to be happening every Saturday. Next Saturday is going to be Minecraft. I'm hoping to get another SGA member on for that, so stay tuned. And until next time, I'll see you in the next one.